Okay, so for all of you that sometimes post, why don't you show the stuff that sucks? The videos are all too happy. Yeah? Well, have a look at that. John, JJ, Scott and I are going to find out how's the hike in Glacier National Park. But we're in Waterton. Where's Scott? Wait a sec. A boat ride.
Right around, maybe even a little hours, but it's going to be a little bit.
So we're getting off the boat. Thank you. Pointed out that the US flag is north and the Canadian flag is south. A little juxtaposition there. And the guy in the boat, like last year, did not stop talking for the entire trip. Oh, we're going that way. All right, so we're off the boat. We're going to head toward the ranger station and toward Kootenai. 4.5K probably. Scott is ahead of us. Scott decided to walk in. I had actually planned to hike with Scott and then hurt my foot in the Bob Marshall Wilderness, and it was swollen for a week. So JJ and John were on the boat, and I thought, you know what, I'll say 14K and take the boat and save my foot. So let's go see if we can find Mr. Meadows. Past the border area. You can see everybody's got their Starlink. That was here last year. Yeah, now we're heading into the Glacier National Park backcountry. Ho, ho, ho. Woo! Super excited about this. And by the way, yes, CBP Rome. That's what we all had to do when we got ourselves into the park.
If you got your permit on you, I'd love to see it.
We were just commenting how nice it is to have your permit checked in a national park. Anyway, a little confusing here. Some intersections. We're going left. Kootenai Lakes. Not quite 2 kilometers in. A little gradual uphill, nothing big. Pretty good trail in the forest. Looking at about 4.5, I think. To camp. Look at this bushwhacking we're doing. About 1 kilometer to camp, so not too far. We're going to find a spur trail up here and have to take a right into camp. That shouldn't be too far up the trail here, actually. And Jim promises me, JJ says, dude, there's going to be a moose. Several moose. Is that meese? Mooses. All right, well, let's see what happens. Well, we could have rock hopped that. Live and learn on the way home. On the way home. Ooh, look at that. 500 meters. Let's go to camp. Let's hope Scott's there.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we'll have to call the authorities. Well, that's a good sign. There's an outhouse. We can kind of see the lake up through the trees. So we're here. Made quick work of that. Oh, dear Lord. Is that Scott?
Over here.
Where is he? Scott?
Right here.
Dude, put a shirt on.
Soaking wet.
Come on, you're on video.
You're soaking wet.
Get my other shirt out.
Go for a swim.
No, it's just soaking wet. I'm just getting my other shirt out.
All right, we're here.
Make pretty good time.
Yeah? Little shot of the area. It says we are here. When I walk this way, I see one tent pad over there with some people in it. Unless they want you along the lake. I don't know. So we're still looking. Oh, sorry, JJ.
There should be one here off to your left.
Well, they got logs in there. I don't know. Huh. Interesting. All right, little shot around where we were tenting. This is typical Glacier. Tiny little campsites. And Scott and I have tucked in here, and the boys are over there. by the horse tie-up. And the food and eating area I'll show you after. There's a bunch of folks over there. But let's go down and look at the lake. It is gorgeous. This was a tempting spot to camp. But not a campsite, obviously. Let's go down here. This is the outlet to the lake to my right. Water looks super clear. A little silt on the bottom, which is pretty normal. Let's just pan up and have a look around here. Beauty Lake. Wow. Yeah. Hello, Glacier. Coming back from the lake, we're up here in these campsites. There are more campsites down this way, actually. 3. And you can kind of see up there, I'll zoom in. There's the bear hang in the eating area, which we're going to acquaint ourselves with momentarily. I'll show you that in a minute. Came over here where it was a bit quieter, festive over at the eating area, which is always nice to hear in these communal campsites. A little shot from earlier. I'll flash up here now of kind of where the bear hang is in the eating area. And a pretty easy day. Now, let me just explain. Scott and I had intended to walk the 18K from Waterton to here. That's always been our plan. And on my last hike, well, actually all summer, I've been kind of dealing with a foot injury on my left foot. It's painful, it's hard to walk sometimes, it hurts. And then after the Bob Marshall trip, which is here on the channel, it's swollen, lots of swelling, obviously some sort of tendonitis, and I need to see a doctor, but I'm going to try to wait and finish the season. I can rest all winter. So that's why I took the boat back down to Goat Hunt, just so I could do like 5K today and not 18. And I'll do the same on the way out just to preserve my foot for the next trip after Glacier. So anyway, up to 50 Mountain tomorrow. If I'm wrong, I'll flash it up. Only about 12.5 kilometers, but the first 5 are going to be pretty flat, and then we've got to gain over 900 meters of elevation in about 5 kilometers. That's a pretty steep grade. So it'll be low and slow, low gear, and but should be a great walk. We're going to watch some weather moving in and just keep an eye on that. But yeah, super excited to be in this place. Let me just get rid of that ugly mug and show you this. Isn't this gorgeous? This is a great day one. Hello, birdie. Great day one, and a little sun on the back here, just kind of painting the mountains to the north. So that's it. I'm gonna go relax, rest my foot, and get to sleep. See you in the morning. Morning, day 2. And looking at that, we are expecting some weather to move in later, including some wind, which I think's already started. Give you kind of the same view this morning as I gave you last night, but this is why you're here. Gorgeous. Pretty good night's sleep. It's typical night 1 after a few days off. You just kind of toss and turn. It was warm too. Like I had my sleeping bag completely unzipped. So yeah, a little warm. but you know, we're expecting it to go down like near freezing during this trip, and also we were told there could be a skiff of snow up high. So it seems a bit early for that, although it can happen anytime out here in the mountains. Yeah. So 50 Mountain, that's our goal today, and it's about just under 13 kilometers, and it's going to be a dry camp, so we're going to have to find water on the way up. Well, actually on the way down, from we go up and then kind of drop down into the campsite. And right around that drop, I think we're going to be able to find some water and have to lug it up tonight. So yeah, lots to consider as we get ready to do about 5K of, well, just kind of flat walking, and then 5K straight up the hill. Oh, but first, you know what I'm going to say, coffee. Back out to the spur trail. Yeah. Okay. Fellas just stopped up here at this sign. I'll show it to you. Lookout trail to the right. Pretty sure there's a fire tower up there as well. Kind of up that way. Still some snow or glacial stuff lingering up there. And here's a sign. First signs of bear scat. reasonably fresh. Another major intersection here. If you bear left up Stoney Indian Pass Trail, that's actually the Pacific Northwest National Scenic Trail. And we're coming back out that way a little later in the trip. But today, 50 Mountain Campground. 5.6 miles, 9K, and a large chunk of it uphill, as you're going to see momentarily. Look at how clear this water is. You could rock hop that. But why rock hop when there's a beautiful bridge right here? Maybe time for a little break, and that water is so clear, I might clean my beef-free filter. Oh, yeah. Took a little break here at Pass Creek Cabin. No camping here. Nice when they put a sign up just to take away the ambiguity. And more importantly, this building is the property of the United States and must not be molested. That's okay. And so it begins. See the cut line up there, kind of in the middle of the frame. I'll zoom in a bit. I mean, relentless. Lots more to do. Well, almost there. Holy mackerel. Coming up to the boys. Good view of Cathedral Peak. Over 9,000 feet. When I get up here, I'll show you from where we've come. Looking back, just over here past Scott, it's an old structure. They're pretty cool. And then we're heading that way, 1.9 kilometers to the camp. And I think we should get moving. Good man. She's looking pretty bleak. No rain yet, but it looks like it's coming. Man, I didn't linger there long. It's cold. Got my raincoat on to break the wind. And of course, sweaty underneath. So, best to get down to camp. I think I've said this in the video. I've certainly said it to friends. It's August. And it feels like October. Like it feels like fall. Big change in the weather. As you can see, I mean, these are fall-like skies. Stopped here and took some water. I got to think about 3 liters. Maybe 2.5 for this little guy. Conflicting reports actually about whether or not there's water at the campsite. Met some true hikers who said, yeah, beautiful water, you gotta find it, but it's there. And others told us there wasn't any, which means they didn't find it. We found this just in case. Made it to camp. I can tell by the colorful bare hangs. Okay. John and JJ are ahead of us. Looking for a spot. So here's a tour of camp. So I'm heading back that way. Okay. Oh, cool. And then, boom. Other side of camp, looking down toward the eating area and the bear hangs and the rain that has now come in. JJ and John picked the best spot for our 3 tents. Let's show you how we're all cuddled up in here. This is kind of what you have to do here when you book one site. So there we are. Now just past Scott, you can see that tent set up over there. If you go up to the left, there's actually still running water, which is good to know because I'll need more. So will everybody else probably. So yeah, gonna wait out this rain and have a little snack.
It's just this ring. If this clobbered you, wouldn't hurt you.
Yeah,
Oh really? Oh really?
might take my eye out.
Let's try that.
I might.
I don't think it's going to be heavy enough to
Okay,
send
let's all
over
watch.
Oh boy, here we go.
Oh, it's high enough.
Oh.
Yeah, strike one.
It just doesn't have much momentum.
Me neither. Coming uphill today. Me neither. All right, one more try.
Two more tries.
This
Strike
may be
one.
on the blooper reel. We're not
Strike
sure yet.
I'll go a little farther out.
You need more slack.
Yeah.
Got a lot of armchair bear hangers
The
here.
angle lower.
There it is. You got it.
Ah!
No, it's going to get tangled now. Oh, you've lost it
No, I
forever.
can untangle that. That's easy.
Good job.
You did it. Yeah, nice job. All right, we're down having group supper, and somebody spotted a bear.
Deer.
So we're all coming up.
Right. The deer was running pretty good.
From us or from the bear? Yeah, let's go up high. That's a good idea. All right, so the bear has gone off up that way. Definitely saw a hump. Jim chipped. Just go up and find it, Jim.
That's supposed to be our trail. I can't believe that.
Oh yeah.
That's crazy.
Looks like a game trail to me.
It's
Yeah.
nice tree.
Oh yeah, it looks just great. Okay. All right, so back to the eating there to finish dinner. Then to the tent because it's cold and wet. You can see out there past John just the mess of weather. And there could be snow tonight and a very wet, cold day tomorrow, we're hearing as well. That could be extremely challenging. So could the bear.
See it out there?
Nope. No, they did see a hump. Well, that's a wrap on day 2. Great day. Hard climb. I was super slow because of what's going on with my left foot, but we got here and we had a nice evening getting to meet some of the other guys that are staying here and having conversations. And then, of course, one of them spotted a grizzly bear, and we all went up to see if we could get pictures or video, and the bear had already disappeared. There's also a mom deer and her fawn around here with all the white spots on it. So maybe the bear was kind of interested in all of that as well, right? So anyway, in the tent early because it's cold, windy, wet, and more to come according to Garmin. 20 millimeters of rain tomorrow and just above freezing. In fact, it's forecasting a little snow for us at this elevation, and we're going to be exposed in that elevation for a good chunk of tomorrow. So let's see what happens. JJ's wife sent weather in for Granite Park, where we're heading. 30 millimeters of rain and just above freezing. So why is that a big deal? We've got the gear, right? Yeah, we do. But when you're exerting yourself, like we will be tomorrow, going up and down, up and down, up and down, you sweat a lot. And then you stop, and then you get cold. Well, that's hard to recover from if it happens a lot, and if you can't get yourself dry and warm. So on an 18 or 19 kilometer day, which is pretty long on this trip for us, that's something you're aware of, and you're like, it's going to be challenging if the weather transpires the way that it's being forecast, and we have to do that cold walk, sweating on the inside and being rained on or snowed on the outside. So fingers crossed, it's the Ouija board person at Garmin again. Let's hope, and let's hope the bear decides to toddle on up the valley tonight and not come looking around for anything. But we've been warned there'd be one in the area earlier in the day, so it's really no big deal. I'm a little more concerned about tomorrow's weather and how we'll be able to stay warm while hiking and sweating and all of that stuff. So I'm going to ponder that during this rather long evening in my tent and sleeping bag while I stay out of the cold. 5 seconds for you, 8 hours for me. Let's see what happens tomorrow. Morning, day 3. Day 3. Day 3 starts like this. Snow and ice pellets. Yeah, good night's sleep actually. Didn't go down as cold as we thought, but obviously it's cold this morning. We've got about 18 or 19K and about a 1.5K climb. At least that'll warm us up. And as I mentioned a few seconds ago for you, now it's just got to try to stay warm all day. You can't stop much because you're going to be sweating inside and you're going to get cold. So I'm going to heat up right now with coffee. Also through the trees you can see our trail. Well defined up there as we climb up higher into the snow line. Oh, yeah. All right. Let's get moving. And I'm off. I started a little earlier than the guys because I'm a little slow on this trip, as I've mentioned. That's the last time I'm going to mention it. Also, because I get cold very quickly when I stop. So even just standing around, I start to feel a chill when I take my puffy off. That's the other thing I want to tell you. Don't ever put your puffy under your raincoat and walk around. You're going to soak that thing. And then what are you going to do? So I'll tell you what we're going to do now. 1.5 kilometers uphill. Whew, that'll warm me up. Sleigh bells ring, are you listening? In the lane, snow is glistening. Beautiful sight, we're happy tonight. Walking in a winter wonderland. Happy August. You've got to be kidding. That's again, it's a lot steeper than it looks on video. But I think I'm almost there. Yeah. Look at that. Almost there to the top and then big downhill. Intersection to Sioux Lake Overlook. No point today. Yeah. Onward. First 1.5 or almost 1 mile climb is done. Long descent now before another climb, and then generally some ups and downs as we get toward the park and tonight's campsite. No bear bells, no bear bells, no bear bells today. Don't wear them, 'cause you won't be okay. Hey! Descending back into the tree line now, which would be nice to shelter me from the wind. Gonna find a place down here out of it to wait for the boys. I'm not sure how far they are behind me, but on a day like this, honestly, you just kind of do what you gotta do. Everybody, right? So it's certainly not your typical backpacking weather. And unfortunately for us, it's a highline route. It's supposed to be one of the scenic highlights of the trip. So instead of the scenic highlight, it's more of an adventure, it's to say the least. Oh wow, look at this. Time for a, what's this gonna be? Time for a rock hop. Wow, almost a ford though. Pretty close. Woo. Yeah. You think willows are fun when they're wet or snowy? Look at all this stuff. And the berry bushes are even worse. Oh man. Hey, look, we're going back up. Second big climb is over. Now we're gonna have some ups and downs. Sorry, I'm sniffing because I'm stuffed up from all this cold. All right. milestone intersection here for us. Granite Park Chalet, 7K. That's about the same to our campsite. Let's say 6.5 to the campsite, I'm gonna say. Yeah. And then this way. Okay, yeah, no thanks. All right, so let's say 6.5K to camp. Get there, find the place for 3 tents we need. And the first thing I'm gonna do is get it set up into some dry clothes, into my sleeping bag to warm up. I haven't stopped. So 6.5 left out of 18. I mean, I've stopped to catch my breath. No breaks, because I get too cold. So let's get this done. Okay, so for all of you that sometimes post, why don't you show the stuff that sucks? The videos are all too happy. Yeah? Well, have a look at that. This sucks. There you go. Oh, yeah. Alright, here's the intersection. Be sure I'm going down to the right. Yeah, Granite Campground, loop parking area at Packers Roost. Chalet, Logan Pass. That way. I'm going this way quickly. Oof. It is whipping. Oof. Well, that took a couple hours to warm up, literally. I didn't get water. I haven't eaten anything. I haven't hung my food. I'm in my tent, and I've been in my sleeping bag now for 2 hours. Actually, pretty much 2 hours. And I'm finally not shivering and finally feeling normal. Problem is, all the stuff I wore today is wet. And this is my puppy, and it's still wet snowing out. So I'm still not comfortable going out unless I put my wet clothes back on. But I will at some point have to get some food and hang my food. And yeah, so number one priority on a day like this is just get in your sleeping bag and get warm. Let your body shiver. That's part of the process of the first stage of hypothermia, which I didn't really feel until I stopped here, which is why I didn't stop on the way. So yeah, wow. Anyway, still snowing. Thinking we're gonna get close to a foot, I think. All right, so plan B. John drew the short straw and came down the campground. JJ and Scott are up at the hostel, which doesn't have any room for us, but the warden said she could let us use her equipment room. And didn't want me staying down here by myself. So here we go, up to the chalet. Well, here we are. We're gonna dry some things off, get some food, and hopefully the warden who offered us her equipment room has enough space. Not sure about that, so let's see what happens. Little shot of the gang here. Really happy the folks at the Granite Park Chalet are doing us a huge favor by letting us sit in here. Well, actually, we're waiting to see if a room becomes available. So if it does, that's a different story. But yeah, really awesome of them. Check them out. Really cool. Here it says employees. We look down. 4 backpackers squeezed into this tiny little space. Yeah, it's a little bigger than a 4-person tent, though. I'm going to say that, although we have some door issues. That's my foot box, stuff like that. But yeah, that's where we are for the night. And this is what's happening outside. It's wet. It's now started to rain, which has made everything slushy. I think tomorrow's going to be, it's supposed to be a short, mostly downhill day. I think it's going to be slippery. Anyway, we had a nice evening in there getting warmed up. Stuff just didn't really dry, so when we get to Many Glacier tomorrow, there is a laundromat, and we'll probably have to find some quarters and throw some things in the dryer. Yeah, all right, well, wrapping up here in 2 seconds. That's a wrap on day 3. Oh my goodness, did you see the footage? And I didn't even show you the half of it. I mean, when I couldn't show you how bad it was, it's because I was trying to pay attention. And then I got to camp, and there was 10 inches of snow by the time we left camp. John came down and got me and said, you know, we can squeeze into this tool shed here and get our stuff, warm up in the chalet and all that kind of stuff. So we did, and we dehydrated some food and had supper. And the guys are still inside by the fire, but I'm getting in my sleeping bag. That was crazy. 18 and a half or whatever it was that I flashed at the beginning. Non-stop, no breaks, couple of pauses on some hills. Didn't eat much, didn't drink much. So I'm tired, and I'm going to go to sleep, and I'm hoping this won't be quite as bad tomorrow. What do you think? We'll see you then. Good morning, day 4. There's a little shot over there of our tool shed. A little shot here, I'll pan around, don't get sick. On the back side of the chalet, and me boiling snow water. Yes, there's no water here except for guests. You can walk to get it, but we're going to start walking here, and we'll top up then. So this morning, just boiling some nice clean snow water. Not a great sleep last night, not because we were all tucked in there. It was actually quite warm and nice, but just, I don't know, just kind of restless. So, and I showed you a clip a few seconds ago of Jim. What was he doing? His air mattress blew a hole and was deflating instantly, basically. So that's going to create an interesting situation today. We are going to Many Glacier, and if we can't find the hole and patch it, he can't continue. So who knows what's going to happen? And after, let's have a look here. After yesterday, just embrace the adventure. But first, I'm going to embrace some coffee. Oh, fingers crossed that this continues. Good morning. Walking again in the snow. Thanks to Granite Park Chalet for their hospitality in their great room, and to the National Park Service for the utility room. So a wee bit of a climb this morning, actually. It'll get us warmed up, and then it's all downhill to Many Glacier, where we're going to try to find a dryer. Yeah, here we go. Here comes our intersection. Swiftcurrent Pass. That's where we're going.
Only 1.1, that's short.
Yeah, but it's somewhat steep. That'll take us down, and all downhill to Many Glacier. Watch for this intersection. Looks like that's the end of the main climb. Some switchbacks coming up. As I mentioned, it's all downhill to Many Glacier. I'm gonna find some water up here, and also get my sunglasses out. It's bright. Found some water, some nice snow melt back there. Got the old sunglasses out. Drinking some electrolytes today on the way, because yesterday I didn't drink or eat much, frankly. Just one of those days. So we'll be making up for that today. Well, look at that. That's why you hike. And look at the snow line. John just said there was no snow at Many Glacier last night, so that's great. Means it'll be a little warmer and probably a little less, well, slushy. Look at that view. Some switchbacks. Look at that over there. There's the trail. We're definitely heading down into the valley. That's pretty spectacular. Wow, look at this! Woohoo! Oh my gosh, coming around the corner here. Look at this. Haha! Woo! Oh man, this is why you hike. Just to give you a little scale here, there's some hikers. Can you see them? Oops, sorry. How about now? Yeah, hard to see. One last look before we head down. Pardon the wind. You need a shower. That's not a joke. Woo. Look at that view. And look at down there to the left. I'm going to zoom in. I'm pretty sure that's our trail. Right down there. See it?
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah. So that's the direction we're going. We've still got a big drop to do. Big drop. And then it should be pretty clear sailing down to Many Glacier. Gorgeous little spot. We stopped to water up. There's all that water. And it's all coming down this way. Very nice. Let's pan around slowly. And then we are heading down that amazing valley. Woo-wee! Getting super busy here with day hikers. From where we're heading. They're talking about a grizzly bear. Ooh, that's moving. We stopped here for a little snack. Let me show you our view. Nothing wrong with that. Nice break there at Red Rock Falls, aptly named, as you can see on the trail and elsewhere. Yeah, so we're on the home stretch now to Many Glacier and camp. And a first for me in backpacking, which I'll explain later. We are super close to town now. Look at this beautiful setting. Wow, very nice. We've just come from here to the parking lot, campground. Get some stuff drying off. Okay, we're here. Now we have to figure out where the couple of hiker spots are they reserved. Could be anywhere. Well, it took a while to find, but number 59 is the backcountry site. There's actually two different sites. There's one over here past the water and the garbage with 3 tent pads and a picnic table and a fire pit. And then we have this one here as well. And oh, look at this. Excuse me, you saw the video from yesterday. Everything's wet and we're doing our best to get her dry. So it's a bit of a mess. If I knew you were coming, I would have cleaned up. Anyway, tent pad there. That'll be for Scott. And there's for Jim and John. There's for me. We assume we get this entire campsite to ourselves because there are only 2 here to book. We assume. But given the fact there's another one over there with 3 tent pads, I think we're going to be all right. But if not, I'll let you know. So, I've had my cup of soup. Now it's time for some electrolytes. And then at some point, I'm going to take you through the little bit of trip planning that's left. What we're going to do tonight, which is a first for me ever in backpacking. And let's talk about yesterday. All right, as promised, just before dinner, a few things to discuss. First of all, speaking of dinner, it's the first time ever on a hike that we're in a, what I'll call front country campground with a restaurant. I'll show you that in a bit. We're actually going over to Nell's Here at Many Glacier, we'll probably have to stand in line for an hour to get in and all that kind of stuff, but it's an experience I've never done. I'm usually out here in the middle of nowhere for days, and so this is really kind of neat being back in like the world. And showed you all those day hikers today who got progressively less happy as we get close to the trailhead. It was the strangest thing in the world. Oh my goodness. Trip planning wise, it's pretty simple at this point. So Elizabeth Lake, Glens Lake, Kootenay again, and then out in Waterton. On the 8th day of the trip, we'll be getting up early and catching the boat again. The guys have to get back and do some stuff, and Scott and I have 3 days between that day we exit Waterton and a new hike coming up next in the series in Yellowstone. We have 10 or 11 days planned down there with my friend Ann, and we really have to, we're going to take the boat so we can get going down to Choteau, Montana, and kind of finish these epic hikes up for the season. Then we'll just watch the weather. So yeah, so those two lakes, going to get to see the tunnel. Tomorrow's going to be an epic climb. I think it's 9 kilometers uphill with 800 meters of elevation gain, and then all the way back down. So pretty typical for out here. Now, that's trip planning. I'm sorry it's late in the video, but that's what we're doing. Big loop out of Waterton. Let's talk about the snow yesterday. Now, there were times during that walk where I was questioning, okay, would it be better to turn around and hunker down? Would it be better, what would be better to do? And, I plowed through, the guys plowed through. We ended up, you saw what happened last night. We ended up warm and safe, but it could go the other way. And that's what I want to say to you is, you have to know your own abilities. You have to know what gear you have with you, and you have to know where you are in the hike and what's the smartest thing to do. We didn't know, and we've talked to lots of people around here. Apparently we're a little infamous now, being the guys that walked that hike with 4 others that we know of. That was pseudo blizzard in many places at many times, and a lot of snow that dumped down. I mean, let me flash up this picture. This is insane. You don't expect this. You were prepared for it because you have the proper gear just in case. But I have to say, even though I had the proper gear just in case, it was right on the edge yesterday. I think it was the most concerning day I've ever had in the backcountry. Yeah, literally. I was doing that little lizard in the desert that lifts one hand, and then this is what I was doing. I had a hand out with my gloves on, and the other hand was in my pocket so I could feel my fingers. This went on for hours. And so, we didn't know when we set out how bad it was going to be. The forecast didn't say it was going to be that bad. I think something just blew up and blew in, and we were kind of in the middle of it. So, we made it, but I want you to know we didn't knowingly take risks, and we didn't wander out there unprepared for that type of event. It happens in Canada, although I've never seen anything quite like that in August in Canada. I've been snowed on in August in Canada. Oh, there we go, it's the wind. But seriously, if you watched that hike yesterday, I don't recommend it. I don't recommend it. If you're going to head out into the mountains, however, of the United States, and especially Canada, Glacier and especially Canada, you need to be prepared for this sort of thing in July. Don't scrimp on the weight. Be prepared. Know how to survive. Know that you have to get to camp, set up that tent, and get in your sleeping bag and shiver for an hour and a half. That's your job. There's nothing else you need to do. That's number one. Get warm. Because the only thing that's going to take you down out there, except for a fall or something like that, is hypothermia. And that's not something you want to mess with. And I was certainly in stage 1 hypothermia when I stopped. That's the last point. I kept going. 18.5K, whatever I flashed up. That's what I kept going because I couldn't stop because it was too cold. So I plowed through and kept warm. And the minute I stopped, I started to feel it. So up went the tent. I went in the sleeping bag. Take off the wet clothes. Some people say start without any clothes. But then I put on a clean layer of dry clothes. And it really helped a lot. So long-winded. Instead of trip planning, wanted to talk about that. It was yesterday was a crazy, crazy day. And if I were you, I would avoid those in the backcountry in August or any other time, except winter when you're out there on purpose doing stuff like that. I would avoid that at all costs. It was, right on the edge, as I said. So anyway, we have a much better day today, and I'm excited about supper.
How's my hair?
Really? Yeah, okay.
Go in.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Ready? Ready?
Ready?
Yeah, here we go.
Here we go.
Zooming in.
All right.
There it is. What do you think? Yeah? All right, here we go. All right, here we go.
Going in.
That's good. Yeah.
Well, that's a wrap on day 4. And what a day 4 it was. It started out kind of like yesterday ended. Snow, fog, slush, wind, cold, and then boom. Oh man, what an afternoon we had. The views were stunning. It was warm. It felt good. We got in here and hung stuff and dried it, which was phenomenal. And more of the same tomorrow. The next few days, weather-wise, are looking warmer, and pretty much clear. And that's going to be very welcome. What's not going to be welcome is the 16K we have to do tomorrow, and why? Well, the first 9K are all uphill with about 800 meters of elevation gain. Oof, what a way to start the day. And then it's all downhill to the campsite. So anyway, yeah. So that's going to be an interesting day, but at least we'll have the weather, we'll have the views, and we won't have the snow and all of that kind of stuff. And I want to say, for a day where we had the very first time where I had a proper high-calorie meal on a backpacking trip, pretty cool. I mean, I do love my backpacking meals, don't get me wrong, but today was probably the highest calorie backpacking meal I've ever had. I hope you enjoyed our montage of eating real food while in the backcountry. Well, sort of in the backcountry. We'll be back there tomorrow. And I'll see you then. See you in the morning. Morning, day 5. The day of the big climb. 9 kilometers, 800 meters. I'm going to keep saying it all day because it's like, what? Anyway, we're up early. It's going to be a gorgeous day. Look behind me. Yeah. Sun's already starting to paint the walls, and we're getting ready to go. But first, coffee. Okay, let the climbing begin. Got to cut over through the campground and find the trail intersection and up Ptarmigan. Goal is to get to the tunnel for lunch. So let's see how we do with that. All right, here we are. There it is. Yeah. And you can see on the map, we're going here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're here.
When we pass the fork, we'll probably lose a lot of people.
Maybe they're going up to the lake.
Yeah, probably a lot of them will.
Yeah, let's have a look at this as well. The falls, the lake.
Foot, 59.
15.9 kilometers.
There you go.
Off, and nine of it's straight uphill.
The tunnel says 8.5. So that's pretty much the top, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
You want to go in the front?
No, I do not.
I've been trying to set my sustain.
Can you see all the people in there? Look at them. There must be 20, 25 people. We're going nowhere fast. Already a sturdy climb. Oh, Ptarmigan Tunnel, no horses. Due to severe rock slide. Yeah. 7.9. Look at this. Bluebird. Imagine that. Go back a couple days in the video.
Oh, please.
Woo! Major trail intersection here. We'll look here first. And we'll come and look this way. And the tunnel's 4 more kilometers. Most of it uphill.
Oh my.
Up the ridge to Ptarmigan Lake. Hopefully be able to water up there. I think I can. And then still can't show you the switchbacks, but there's a target. A tunnel, Ptarmigan Tunnel. Hopefully I can show you that from a distance here shortly, if the trees get out of the way. Stopped here for some water at Ptarmigan Lake. Hopefully the guys will see me and won't pass me. As you go up that, can you see that little ridge? Then you go all the way along there. So let me zoom in way, and there's people, just to give you some scope. Look at that. See that? People. You can barely see them. Then it follows up along that way. And then up, and there's people up there. And then it goes up that way. Holy moly, let me zoom back out. About a mile up, 1.5 kilometers, 0.9 miles. Yeah. Lots of people coming down. One last look back. Look at that view. Oh my gosh. That's just crazy. Now, let's go to the tunnel. There it is. All right. Let's go this way. This is a first. Choo choo. Oh my gosh, this is so cool. You gotta come and see this. That's it, I gotta watch where I step because I can't see. Let me sure you can see anything. I'm a little afraid to see what I have to go down out here. I heard it's impressive. Time for lunch too. Here we go. Oh my gosh. That's the trail. I've come back to the other side. It's a lot warmer over here for a break. Look at these two sitting on the edge. Living on the edge, eh, boys?
Living on the edge.
Look at that. Look.
As always, living the dream.
My toes tingle just looking at it. Okay, we had a nice break over there, had some lunch, and there's our lake. And we're heading down to the head of the lake, which is in there. That's camp. And so look at the view we're going to have as we head down to the tree line. Amazing. I mean, just spectacular. Look at the cliffs. Come down here, look at the trail, and you know this is deliberate. You know, this isn't an old game trail or an old trading trail. They made a choice to come in here and build this. Look at this. This is incredible. And then we're going around that way, and down. You probably can see the cut. And there's home for tonight. Woo-hoo-hoo. But first, let's get down there. There's a look back toward the tunnel. Can you even see it from here? It's very hard to see. I'll zoom in for you, but there they are. There's the tunnel. And there's that. No wonder they built a tunnel. Whew. Okay, so this is crazy. Look at this. I'm going to zoom in so you can see the tunnel. But, like, I mean, there it is. And back out. Fellas are coming down the trail, which is over here. Quick do a little panorama over here. Look at that. And then just past John, once again, Elizabeth Lake. And just to the right of that, the catwalk. Little panorama for you here. Probably the last good shot I'll get of it as we turn the corner. Although there'll be more to see. Look at that. What do you think, John? That's why you hike?
This is why you hike. Days like this.
Exactly.
Incredible.
Yeah, it's amazing.
You don't get too many days like this.
No, I mean, look at Bluebird. Oh, hang on. Oh.
There goes the
Wow, what a view of Helen Lake. That is just spectacular. You can tell glacial fed, obviously, the color. There's a campsite there. There's a significant spur trail to get in there, but oof, wouldn't that be worth it for a night or two, huh? Just amazing. Guys just stopped at our intersection sign, which should give us an indication of how far camp is.
3.1K.
3.1K.
Oh, 2 miles.
Look at that. Still some work to do. And then a shot of the target down there. We still got work to do, as you saw. We thought we were a little further along, but 3K. No big deal, obviously, but we thought we were a tiny bit closer. That said, it's actually been a much easier day than we anticipated, so we'll get there. Nice to have this footbridge. I think it's another bouncy one, but I'm glad it's here, especially at the end of the day, because I'm pretty sure we're going to cross this, be at camp. Let's go find. Careful! Oh my gosh, that's so cool. Wait, I have to do it too. Happy feeling gone. Almost missed this. I think they must expect you to enter from the other side. So we're at camp. We're going to check out the tent pads. Oh, there's a sign right up there, actually. Yeah, I'll show you that in a second too. Check that campsite out. A little far from everything. Oh, bear boxes. Nice. Look at this seating area. 2 seating areas. And more campsites, I think this way. You are here. A couple great campsites here. I think we've chosen that one up there. Hello. Wowie, wowie, wow. We're gonna set up and I'm gonna show you around. My, my, my. Just scope around here. Boys are getting set up. Scott's over here. I'm over here. JJ and John are over there. So we've tucked in. I'm gonna head over to the eating area. Have some soup. So let's go back and look at that map and I'll show you around a bit. Just come out of our tent pad, and if you look that way, you can go down there and find another site. Not a bad site, kind of small. This site beside us is actually pretty nice, but smaller than what we took. Access to the lake and water. Back here to the eating area. Short walk back to the eating area, which is great. Little info there. So Highline Lake Trail does go that way. Ptarmigan Trail off that way, and I'm pretty sure that's where we're heading tomorrow. Yeah, there you go. One last look at this for you. Here we are. All right. Snack time. From the campsite, a little quick panorama, and then I want to show you something we've just been looking at. Look at this place. I had to go way up to show you that. Back down to lake level. And look at that view. But if I come down a little closer, way up in there. I'm gonna have to zoom in. Here we go. And watch. Here we go again. There's the trail. Right. Where's my finger? I can't find it. Oh, right up there. That's the trail we came down. And then if you look really closely, you can see along the all that rock fall. Whoopsie, there we go. Trail there as well. So that's, we came out of the tunnel up in there. Way back out, watch this, here we go. Boom. And then all the way down there, then up with the other trail. Here we are down at this amazing lake with a beautiful beach. Be a great place to eat without the onshore wind. Although you never know, it might cook and just come down here and sit. So that's next, supper. Well, that's a wrap on day 5. What a spectacular, spectacular day. I mean, just look behind me. Wow. We started out with a nice breakfast in Many Glacier, a little bit of a climb as you saw, and then really wasn't as bad as maybe we anticipated. The switchbacks were spectacular from that lake. The stuff I showed you earlier, just fantastic. And of course, coming through the tunnel and coming down the other side and seeing the lakes. This has been, it's a top 10 day for me. I'll just say a top 10 day for me, and it's just fantastic. It's a busy campsite. Have a look at this. Lots of people. We're sitting with a CDT through hiker and his girlfriend right now. They're hiking together to Waterton. I think she joined him in St. Mary's, so that was cool. We're learning all about his hike, and his achievements. And so it's been a great evening. Met lots of nice people here, actually. It's been a good night. I had a great supper. I had lasagna with meat sauce, one of my favorites. Thank you to Bryden Solutions, brydensolutions.ca. Just type it in, and if you're looking for any kind of dehydrated meals or food, just tell them I sent you, because I'm so thankful that they've helped me stay out here all summer and experience things just like this. Now, tomorrow, pretty easy day. I think we're doing 13 kilometers to Glens Lake foot. It's a foot or a head. I think I don't know what it is. It's Glens Lake. You'll see in a few seconds when I flash it up. Oh, and speaking of flashing it up, have a look at this. This is Gaia GPS today, and the mileage I showed you at the beginning of this day will be coming from Garmin and Nat Geo's map, which has been super accurate out here. Look what Gaia did. What is that? I think that's when I went in the tunnel or something. It got very confused and added about 2 kilometers to my track. So if you click on the link with the GPX file, when you see that, subtract a couple of kilometers, because that was just like, what's that line? Why are we not there yet? It caused all kinds of confusion for me on the trail today. But yeah, so that's one of those weird kind of anomalies. And if you've ever experienced that, it can throw you off as you're trying to get to a place like this and spend the evening. Wow, look at that. After snow, and then coming out of snow and down into Many Glacier, we get a day like this. Absolutely stunning. Again, one of the top 10 in my hiking life. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, and hope we see more amazing stuff tomorrow. We'll see you then. Good morning, day 6, and what a great night we had last night. Did you see that bear? The 2 girls we met when we came in, really nice people. Hi, if you're watching. Just spotted this bear, and they told me, and I'm like, oh, video. So I grabbed the camera, and it was really cool. Just kind of over there as I'm looking at that wall, which is starting to get painted with the sun. Oh, it's going to be another glorious day. It's an easy day for us to Glens Lake head, I believe. I just flashed it up. And we're going to do a little bit of a forward and get in early, I hope, and just have a leisurely afternoon, because tomorrow over Stoney and the Impasse will be a lot more difficult. So I'm keeping my voice down because folks are still asleep. It was a very busy campsite last night. I haven't experienced that, I don't think, ever. But lots of nice people. We met Kaput and his girlfriend Kaput hiking the CDTs, almost finished, and that's been a highlight of the trip. Meeting all these CDT through hikers that are almost at the end. How do they feel? Like, what happens when they're done? Like, how do they feel when they're done? I mean, it must be a huge change and letdown or exhilaration or a mix. So it's really cool to talk to them. But anyway, it's really cool to have this coffee. Just a sec here. It's really cool to have this coffee, but let me show you my view this morning. Slowly. That's actually really slowly. Bear with me. It's worth it. Here we go. Yeah, look at that. I'm sitting here having a coffee. Looking at that. Good morning. Woo. One last look at this beauty before we head to the next one. What a great spot. What a great group of people we met. It was a lot of people, but everybody was happy, and yeah, it was really good. So we're underway. We've got some cool stuff to see today, and you're going to see it too. Gonna try to get in here and show you. I can't see the claws. To answer your question, Scott, so I can't really tell what kind. If I was going to guess, I'd say it's a black bear.
I think that's our blackie.
Yeah, if I was going to guess, I'd say it's a black bear. Maybe the one we saw last night. Yeah, came down and got on the trail. Jim's making this poor man read a joke. all he wanted was the permit.
I figured in these
Oh
days
my God.
that's pretty appropriate.
Nice shot there of Dawn Mist Falls. If you have the Nat Geo map, you'll see it. And it says there's like a 200-meter spur trail to see the falls. There's not. It's right off the trail, as I just showed you. So Dawn Mist Falls. First big scenic highlight of the day. Actually, I stand corrected. I'm going to look at this sign. I think this is the spur trail that goes into the falls, which I just showed you. So I don't know where it goes, but it must just kind of go up, yeah. Don Miss Falls that way. But
Go to the base, I'm sure.
It must, yeah. And we just showed you the falls. Pretty spectacular. So that's kind of where the spur trail is. So when I said earlier, spur trail wasn't 200 meters, we weren't at it. That's it right there. Intersection here for the Belly River Trail. To the right, we're taking Ptarmigan to the left or straight ahead to intersect the Causley Cutoff. And then big left up to our lake. Over here and have a look as well. There it is. Causley Lake Campground, 4.2 kilometers. That might be our big break. We've turned left and we're dropping into our new valley for the day. Ah, and there's Causley Lake. We'll go down and have a look at this ford and show you that view. Hopefully a little clearer. And there's your better view. Look at that. We're gonna do a ford, maybe have a snack. All right, here we go. I mean, it's we'll do the ford cam, but really, it's not even a ford. Well, I mean, it is a ford, but there's nothing to this.
But it feels good on the feet.
Yeah, good on the feet for sure. Oh, little delay. Pull up the legs. All right, I'm gonna follow behind. Typically, I wait till somebody goes across, just in case something happens, but nothing's gonna happen here. So here comes the fort camp. Woo! Oh, that feels good. Oh, that's nice. Oh, a little drifting. That's lovely. Oh. There we go. Look at that. We had a lovely break here.
What's this river called?
Had some folks that joined us, sat and just enjoyed the sun and the peacefulness. I could have set up a tent there. I mean, seriously, look at this. Oh, just met a group of hikers coming from our campsite tonight and said it was awesome. They were a large group too, so nice to see so many people out enjoying this spectacular place. And I mean, there's trees in the way, but I mean, just look at this. Oh, the perma smile is here. Oh. First little shot here of Glens Lake, the foot campsite. Should be coming up shortly, and then it's only 4 kilometers to the head campsite where we are heading. I'm sorry. And here is the intersection. Glens Lake Campground, foot of lake, right down there. Stoney Indian Pass Trail. That's us. Just met another park staff, and Jim recited his joke to this one as well. And she actually laughed out loud. Sean, the guy we met earlier, kind of groaned. So that's the second park team member we've seen out here. And I was chatting with her, and apparently this area does get good coverage from personnel because it's so busy. And then she gave me a hint about where to go in Glacier that's really remote and rugged and less people. And I'm not going to say it on video. Campground is here. Ooh, made it. Let's have a look at the map. There it is. Some campsites down by the lake, and the eating area, and everything else behind me. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. And anytime. Oh, boy, look at that. Woo!
Now go for a swim.
Time for a quick tour of Glens Lake Head Campground. There's the map as I showed you. See those 3 campsites on the lake? We are on the far left, and I will show you that momentarily. Off the trail on the other side is the eating area. A couple of the guys here getting up to no good. And what's happening over here? Over here, the privy and the bear hang. So the privy is up that way. You can see it. And the bear hang just through here. All right. So back past these motley crew. Let's go back to the campsite and I'll show you where we've picked. It's pretty amazing. Back entering the campsite. Now, I mentioned earlier, I think I showed you, there's a campsite going down here and then another one going down here. And they are both totally exposed to the sun and quite frankly, quite small for us because we do have the 3 tents. So come on over here and have a look at this little spot we found. All right, coming through, we've got tree cover. It's not a flat, but it's not bad. JJ over there getting stuff going. Yeah, look at this spot, huh? Now, here is the best part of this spot in this campsite. Everybody's been in the water or cleaned up, rinsed off. You walk out here from our little campsite and boom. I'll do a slow panorama for you. Doing some clothing and of course some solar charging. Let's just look up. Up. Another almost bluebird. I mean, close enough to call it that. Look at this. Doing the best I can here to try to keep everything in the frame. And boom. Holy moly. Yeah. This is home for the night and it's spectacular. All right, you can see JJ and John, and you can see the beard of Scott. There it is. We're looking at this. So first of all, that's Pyramid Peak, that's Cathedral. Just on the other side of Pyramid, like straight across, is 50 Mountain, where we stayed the night before the blizzard. And what we're looking at now, and I'm gonna zoom in here for you gently. Here we go. And here we go again. Our gap for tomorrow. Yeah, we're heading straight up there and then we're gonna make a giant right turn of 90 degrees. That's what we think at the moment anyway. Yeah. Woo! But look at that, it's just stunning.
It is.
Yeah, let me come back out again just one more time just to show you this whole area as JJ walks along. Look at the scale. Look at this. Oh my gosh. We're gonna stand here and just admire this and I'll wrap it up next. Ignore this guy and look over there. Look at this. Holy moly. Look at this place. Let's just go around together. I'll have to pan up for you here. Look, sun's still painting these guys. Look at my forehead. Don't do that. Anyway, that's a little bit of a panorama. This is a stunning place. I'm blown away again today with our campsite. Just absolutely amazing. And that monstrosity of beauty right there. Gee whiz, look at that. Anyway, it was a very easy day for us, very short day. We were in early, we had a leisurely afternoon, had a swim in this gorgeous lake, and tomorrow will be the opposite. We have a big climb. See that head wall right there? Yeah, we got to go that way eventually when we get there and up over Stoney Indian Pass and then back down to Kootenay Lake to set ourselves up for our exit on day 8. So it's just another great day, a great day 6. And tomorrow, I know, even though we're going to have to work hard, it's going to be a fantastic day 7. I hope you enjoy it as much as I'm going to. Let's see what happens together next. Good morning, day 7. Oh, it's so peaceful. It's before 7 a.m. I'm up early. I'm up early because I was trying to see if I could find this. Now, this is going to be super grainy. You're going to have to use your imagination, but this is a moose. Have a look at this. Why am I bringing up a moose? Because last night in camp at about 9:30, that we hear this crashing and banging and snorting and growling and grunting and like just an angry animal. And there are 2 campsites here with people in them. And like I'm laying in bed, you know, playing a game on my iPhone, and I hear this, and I'm like, so, you know, you take 5 to 10 seconds to figure out what's going on. I'm like, is that a bear? But it was big.
And then kind of just at the end of it, I heard one of those moose grunts, you know? I thought I did anyway. And then it just banged through the bushes. And I got out of my tent with my headlamp and my bear spray, and I went over to the other campers who we met last night. Or we met them the night before, actually. Wonderful people. If you're watching this, you guys are awesome. Nice to see you out here as a family. So anyway, I yell over, "Are you guys okay?" And they're like, yeah, we're fine. What was that? I'm like, I was asking you, what was that? I said, it was a bear or a moose. And they said, well, we think it was a moose. And I would agree. I think the consensus was that it was a moose. And that grainy picture that I just showed you, oh, it's moving. I'm going to try to get you a better picture. If not, I'm going to have coffee. There it goes. There's the moose. The wrecker of dreams last night. Oh, wait a second. Huh. Through there, based on some tracks. Probably saw my tent and freaked out. Went over in here to these bushes and through to the other folks whose tents are kind of through there. So, yeah. That was an eventful evening. Whew. What will we see today? We're off in a couple of kilometers until the climb really begins. And it's September morn. Happy September, everybody. That's Neil Diamond. He's a solitary man. Except when he's with Desiree or Sweet Caroline. Oh, that was not bad. JJ just spotted this. Look, more proof of our girl on the hoof. And so that was quite an evening. And then these awesome folks we met, as I mentioned before, were telling us this morning that almost certain there was a bear in camp this morning. I didn't hear it because I had my earplugs in. It was before dawn. And just the glow starting to come over the sky, like that kind of white glow as the sun's starting to approach. And apparently made pretty much every bear sound you know. I'm glad I missed that one. Holy glacier animals. Intersection, the Mokawanis Lake Trail. And then here, Stoney Indian Pass, guys, 7.6 kilometers. Woo-hoo. Waterton Valley Trail Junction 13.5. And so that's on our agenda today as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, this way. Then another what? A few anyway, yeah. All right, we're at Mokawanis Junction. That wasn't far. There's your map if you're looking to come in here. The campground is in that way, and we are going that way. Wow! Saw these from camp last night. Waterfalls coming out of Atsina Lake. Look at that. And 2 more waterfalls coming into the lake that will be going above eventually. That is stunning. First view of those 2 waterfalls that go into Atsina Lake. And you can see our pass, boom, up through there. Lots still to do. Little reprieve here as we come into the lake, which I'm going to show you next. Always look back. Great shot there. That peak way over on the right. We're going between that and that. Stoney Indian Pass. Getting there. I mean, I'm almost to the same level. First really steep climb is over. A little bit of gradual climb now. And then more switchy backs, I think, up to the pass, if my memory serves from the map. That's good, making great time this morning. We got up a little early to beat the heat. That was pretty smart, because for most of that initial climb, the sun was behind the mountains to the southeast and east. Super helpful. Hey, little buddy, what you doing? What you doing? Having some water? My hands are wet. You're pretty. Hi. Hi. There's the gap. I see switchbacks in our future. Oh, there's a cairn. Must be we're at the pass. Let's go over here to this tree line and see what we see. Whoa. Look at that. Completely different than the other side. Whew. Time to sit here in the shade and have lunch. Just walking over here from where I was sitting in the shade to show you the preferred lunch spot. This would be it. Here it is.
Show me that picture she sent here. Is it already
Isn't that beautiful?
hard to get to?
No, it's easy to get.
Really nice. And then down there, I'll zoom in on the lake over to the right. You can see the trail. We're heading down there actually. We're going to walk along that right side of the lake and then down that valley and to the right. Switching back toward the lake. I think we're going to go by the campsite, so if the sign's there, I'm going to show you. Maybe we'll water up. Noticing some fresh trail work today. It smells like today, like literally hours ago. And when I look down the valley, I think I see the trail crew. Pretty cool. We're definitely going to give them our sincere thanks for keeping these trails in such great shape, because they really are, and it's a lot of hard work. See? Yeah, that's today. Here's the sign as promised. There you go. You are here. Right? There are 3 tent pads back there with the pit toilet, and the food hanging pole and eating area is kind of behind me up the way here. Yeah, I can see the sign up there for that area. Wow, this is pretty exposed though. You'd have a lot of sun here. That's for sure. Started the switchbacks down to the intersection, not too far now. Scott and I have been talking. When we get there, we were about 7.1 kilometers from the boat at Goat Hunt. And we're now thinking, what should we do? It's still pretty early, and we could catch the last boat, potentially, if there's room. So I've been messaging JJ on his spot. You can actually message from Garmin's spot if you know the proper numbers, to see what their thoughts are, because we have discussed heading straight out. We've stayed at Kootenai Lake before, as you saw in the video, and it's, nice lake and everything, but I mean, it's so close to the boat. I mean, the risk is we get to the boat and it's a Sunday of Labor Day weekend and there's no room at the inn. And then you have a decision: do I walk back 5K and camp for the night and then walk back 5K to the boat and get it in the morning? Or do we walk the 14K today back to Waterton? So, decisions. And we'll have to start thinking hard about it in a few minutes when we hit that intersection with that 7.1K to the boat. Well, here we are. Goat Hunt 8. Now, I don't know. Nat Geo says 7.1, 7.2. So, let's see what happens. Our next decision check-in time will be looking at when we get to the intersection spur trail to the campsite at Kootenai Lake. And back to the intersection and decision time. What are we going to try to do? Scott says let's try for the boat. We have a quick turnaround to our next hike in Yellowstone, which is 11 days. Well, maybe 10, we're not sure. You have 10 or 11. So I've messaged the boys who knew this would be a possibility. In fact, I think it was JJ's idea at one point to see if we could get into Goat Hunt tonight, or even get here in time for the boat. The boys have showed up and they're going to stay. They don't mind if we go. Quick, hey, listen. Yeah.
I'll see you again. Yeah.
And
man. Yeah. Thank you.
all right.
With you, buddy. Yeah.
Let's do it again.
Boys, how was the hike?
How's the hike? Was great.
Okay, good. Man, a few words.
7 days out of 8 were fantastic.
Yes. Well, I know you haven't hit 8 yet. That's tomorrow.
That's right. What's
God
that,
knows what'll happen.
87.5% good.
7.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm going to give it about a 9.5. Maybe a 10 out of 10.
Wow.
It's
high.
I think this might be my favorite hike of
Yeah, go ahead, Scott. Yeah.
It's so great. Glacier's awesome.
Yeah.
The trails are great. The grades, for the most part, are really good.
Yeah, they are.
There's a few short 15, 20% pitches, but they're short. And yeah, other than the terrible weather on Wednesday, we've had absolutely great weather since then.
Perfect weather.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place to hike.
Well, it's a pleasure, guys. Thank you.
All right,
Thanks
you.
for letting us toddle off to see if we can get on the boat.
Yes.
And for God's sake, hold us a 10 spot. We could be back in an hour or two. All right.
All right.
Ciao for now. All right, we're off. Oh, I'm so glad that happened. I am. I'm so glad that happened. Jim said messages weren't coming through, so hopefully we'll figure that out between Spot and Garmin. What was I going to say? Oh, yes. The reason they're not coming out is because there's a lot of animal traffic for Jim to get back to Radium where he lives. Not so much for John going back to Calgary from here, but for Radium. So, you know, getting home at midnight, driving through in the dark, I totally understand why they'll stay. Scott and I don't really have that issue when we get out of here, necessarily. If we get out of here. Oh boy. Will we make it on the boat? Will they have space for us? Is there a later boat we can take? These are the days of our lives. Goat Haunt. Ranger station, 300 meters. Then off to the docks.
Good.
All right, there's Scott behind me. We've left the boat. And now we have to head back to where we parked near the campground, because that's where they told us to park. Let's go see if I have a ticket again this year. Yeah, they thought I was sleeping in my car last year. It was like, I was in Glacier. All right, we're gonna walk down there and we're gonna find out how's the hike.
They're pretty tame, aren't they?
Hey, fellas, how are you?
Pretty tame, aren't you, baby?
How's the road there, sweetie? There we go. Wow, what an adventure today was. We actually got on the boat, which I was saying to you, we're never going to get on the boat.
You gotta believe.
Scott's like, we're going to get on the boat. We got on the boat. Then we got to Waterton. He's like, we're never going to get, I'm like, we're never going to get a campsite. It's Labor Day weekend. Scott comes waving over like, look at the ticket. We got a campsite. So here's my van. And Scott's going to put his tent up behind it. And we're in the campsite in Waterton. So that's why there's a slight delay. We had a shower. You really needed a shower.
That was sweet.
Wow, the stink is real. Listen, all right, let's wrap this up. So we heard from Jim and John very quickly when we were down at Kootenai Lakes at the intersection. So I'll ask you, how's the hike?
Well, it was a spectacular hike, but
Yeah.
I think the tops were both sides of Ptarmigan Tunnel.
Yeah, the tunnel was stunning.
And
yeah.
I think the descent from Swiftcurrent Pass down into Many Glacier, that was a pretty close second.
Especially because we descended out of snow, fog, and snow into summer. It was like that.
Unbelievable. I never hiked anything like that.
Yeah, no. And I'll just say, I mean, the day of the snow was, that was...
Well, just because I couldn't move my hands.
That was you know what I mean? As I said in the video, that was on the line. I wouldn't recommend, I would not recommend.
If we'd had a day 2 of that, we would have been gone.
Gone. In many ways, perhaps.
Yeah.
So for me, other than these things, which I agree with totally, the highlight for me was stopping at Many Glacier and having a real meal. That's never happened
often
before.
do you get that on a backpack?
You never get that on a backpack. So anyway, listen, thank you for watching. It was an epic trip, an epic video. Like, we had a moose, we had a bear, we had a blizzard. Like, what else could have happened? So, and I'm afraid to say that because in just a few days after this video, we're meeting our friend Ann, and doing 10 or 11 days in Yellowstone. Yeah. What could happen?
Don't even think about it.
No. Anyway, questions or comments, leave them in the comments section below. Check out the links below. And as always, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.